Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
I'm Michael.
Today we're checking out Galileo Project.
From Sorry, We Are French.
Doesn't matter how good this game is, this box cover is the best. I love it so much.
It's beautiful.
I saw the cover, I'm like, I have to play this game. I
How
don't
is-
even care.
How said this reminds him of the Star Trek movie poster.
Okay, 'cause
And
there's
yeah,
the-
absolutely.
yeah. And it's funny because there's like a card in here that reminds me of Star Trek as well. So we'll come to that later, I'm sure. But I saw this cover, I'm like, this game, I have to play it.
Yeah. So, Galileo Project plays from 2 to 4 players and has a box play time of 40 to 80 minutes.
Yes.
Let's take a look at this awesome, colorful game.
Yeah.
So, the backstory of this is basically Earth and Mars have decided upon doing the Galileo project. And the aim is to arrange the 4 Galilean moons of Jupiter, which are Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, and make them habitable for mankind, as we did with the moon and Mars several decades ago. So here's the thing.
Just
Earth
decades.
and Mars have different economies, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to buy a robot that was made on Earth, you have to pay with Earth money or influence. If you want to buy a robot from Mars, you have to spend Mars influence.
Right.
Well, they give this little backstory. A few years ago, Tarek Freeman built a casino inside an old satellite near Jupiter. A little later, extraplanetary markets started meeting in this neutral ground, and now payments are made in casino chips called mega credits. And it's sort of the bridge between Earth currency and Mars currency, which we are going to be dabbling in either Mars or Earth influence or currency, basically. The chips are actually encrypted money keys that are generated by the Star-Z communication satellite. So all this backstory just to basically give some sort of a framework around the mechanisms of this game. So, mega credits will help you switch influence between Earth and Mars influence, which is the income in this game. We have our influence track here. You notice that there is a blue track and a red track. The blue track is for Earth. The red track, if you did not guess, is for Mars.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. So, the mega credits can also help you get discounts on robots and will also help you pay the characters that you hire. So, let's see. I am the start player. So on my turn, I'm going to do 3 steps in order, and then it's going to be Steph's turn. The first thing I can do is to switch my influence. Remember, I said we've got Earth influence and Mars influence. I can optionally spend 1 mega credit to switch my Earth influence with Mars or Mars with Earth. So let's say I had 5 Earth influence and I really want to have Mars influence. I can spend 1 mega credit and I can move directly over to the Mars side of the influence. Then I'm going to take an action. That's mandatory. In which I am either going to hire a character or acquire a robot or develop a technology, which is over here. Then optionally, the final step is to claim a goal if I meet the requirements. And there are 4 random goals up. I believe there are 8 or 9 of those. Let me see here. 8 goal tiles. So there are enough to make the game interesting over time. And you're going to get more points for this top goal than the bottom goal, and you're going to get more points if you finish it early versus finishing it late. So let's talk a little bit about hiring a character. When you hire a character, you're going to gain influence. Now, you might think, wait a second, you're hiring somebody. Shouldn't you have to pay something? You don't have to pay until the end of the game. And when you actually hire a character and keep them for their points, you're going to have 1 mega credit for each character that you have saved in order to get their victory points. So, hiring a character will give you influence. When you choose a character, you are going to gain their hiring effect, which is this little set number on the left hand side. For example, if I hire this guy, I'm going to get 4 influence, and I'm going to get the influence of whatever track that I'm currently on. If I'm on the 0, I get to decide whether I want Earth influence or Mars influence. Excuse me. Then I'm going to resolve the character's ability. This depends on which influence track I am on. If I'm on the red track, then I am going to get to, in this case, I'm going to get to put a robotic, what is it called? Robot modifier on one of my cards, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later. The thing at the top is always an immediate effect. Everything at the bottom is an end game scoring effect. So if I wanted to hire this guy, I would get his immediate effect because I'm on the red track, and I would move forward to the 9. If I were on the Earth track, then I would move to the 9, but I would get the end game scoring effect. I will tuck this underneath my board so that only that last little portion is visible. And I'm going to get 2 victory points for every one of the goals that I have created. Let you guys take a look at that right here. You see the immediate effect at the top and the end game effect at the bottom. Now you'll notice that not all of them have red on top and blue on the bottom. This one has blue on top and red on the bottom. So it all depends on what track you're on and the character that you are hiring. So with this one and this one, I'm going to gain that amount of influence. If I'm going to take one of these characters up here, I'm going to get 1 fewer or 2 fewer or 3 fewer influence. As you purchase a card from the market at the end of your turn, you are going to push all the cards over and reveal a new card. So these that are up in the lower influence, they're going to become cheaper or more attractive as they get pushed over towards the left. If you ever have your influence pushed beyond the 10, it doesn't matter how much it's pushed beyond the 10. To the 10 is not enough. If you were to push beyond the 10, you're going to stay on the 10 and take 1 mega credit. If you were to go to 11, you get 1 mega credit. If you were to go to 16, 1 mega credit. It doesn't matter how much you go beyond 10, you're still only going to get 1 mega credit. The second thing that you can do instead of hiring a character is you could acquire a robot. Acquiring robots will make our development markers on Jupiter's moons move forward. Notice that we have a 0 on each one of our Jupiter moons: Io, Europa, Callisto, and Ganymede. So if I want to acquire one of these robots, I have to pay influence for the track that I am on. Let's say I am on the 6 on the Earth influence track. I can't get this robot because it requires 6 Mars influence, not 6 Earth influence. At the start of my turn, I could spend a mega credit to switch over to the red track, but if I don't do that, I am not going to be able to acquire this robot. However, I could acquire the robot next to it because it has a blue number in the corner, so it takes 6 Earth influence to be able to acquire this robot. The further that you go, you will have to pay more and more influence. For example, this is whatever the stated amount is, +1, stated amount +2, stated amount +3. So this would cost 8 Mars influence in order to acquire. Notice that each of these robots have one of the moons, or sometimes two of the moons, on the card. So if I were to acquire this robot, I would pay the influence and then I would place this card next to one of the moons that are listed on the card. In this case, only Callisto is listed on the card. I would have to place it on Callisto. Then I would get whatever effect is on this card. That's the robot's ability. And I will go over each of the robot's abilities. There are only 4 different types, and the strength of the ability depends on how many robots of that type that you have. Finally, you are going to move your development marker forward a number of steps equal to whatever your robot's level is. Notice this is a level 2 robot. I'm going to move forward 2 steps. Notice that this could cause some effects to trigger. For example, this will allow me to place a assignment modifier or robot modifier on a card. If I go to this spot, I would get an energy. And energy is the most valuable resource in the game. Now, the rulebook says that multiple times, and they are not kidding. Although Steph was rolling in influence in the game that in energy, the game we played, it's still fairly hard to get. Wouldn't you say, Steph?
Oh yeah, because once I finished what I was doing, I was like, how do I get more?
So if you ever roll over or beyond one of these icons, you are going to get whatever is on the space. Now, there are effects that will let you move robots from one colony to another. For example, if I were to place one of the assignment modifiers on this robot, I could place an IO assignment modifier on this robot. Look, now it can go to 2 different places. If I ever have an ability that lets me move this robot over to IO, this track is going to go down 2, and this track is going to go up 2. So you can always count your levels on your robots and make sure that your amount matches. If the robot level ever increases, you are just going to take one of these little level modifiers, increase the level of the robot, and make sure that the development marker moves. Now, let's say that I got to place this assignment modifier, as I just did, and something let me move this back. I move this up 3, and since this passes this icon again, I do get another instance of this icon. Now, whenever it goes backwards, I don't get it. But whenever it goes forward through that icon, I am going to get whatever the benefit is. And this was actually, it's not in the rules, but it was confirmed on the forums. Every time you move forward through it, through an icon, you do get whatever is on that icon. And that is somewhat exploitable, but there aren't a lot of things that will let you move robots around. So,
yeah.
Now, it's important to mention what some of these planets, some of these moons will let you do. The further up you move on these tracks, the better the benefit that you get. For example, if I can get this under here. So you'll notice on the orange moon here, Io. If I'm in the 1 to 3 area, then I can get a discount when purchasing robots. If you'll see at the very top, when purchasing robots, if I spend 2 mega credits, then I'm going to get whatever the stated discount is. So if my marker is somewhere in the 1 to 3 area, for every 2 mega credits I spend, I'm going to get a 1 influence discount on that robot. If I'm up in the 4 to 6 area, I'm going to get a 2 influence discount for every 2 mega credits I spend. And this will go on -3 per 2 mega credits, -4 per 2 mega credits, minus infinity, meaning no matter what it costs, if I spend 2 mega credits, I can get whatever robot I want. Over on Europa, this is going to be energy and just sheer victory points. And if you can reach the end space, every time that you need to spend energy, you can spend 1 energy less. Moving down to Ganymede. Notice that at the bottom here, you can have a maximum of 2 characters at the bottom of your player board. If you're in the 1 to 3 area, you could have 3 characters. If you are on the 4 to 6 area, you notice the little question mark with the red and blue. Whenever you hire a character, you could choose the red or the blue hiring motto, the hiring ability, no matter what influence track you're on. For example, if I were to take this and I was on the red track and I didn't want to put a modifier, if I wanted to take him for his goal, I could do that as long as my marker were in this area here. On the 8 through 10 area, I can have 5 characters under my player board. 11 to 14 area, I get both the instant and the end game bonus.
It's pretty good.
If I want it. And 6 characters if I reached number 15. Now, let's say I was up at the 6 character spot and then I were to move one of my robots off. That makes it drop down to 5, or from going from 5 to 3. I do have to discard characters that I have hired that are on the end game scoring thing if I lose the development in that moon. So keep that in mind, that if you lose it, you're going to have to discard those characters. Now, another thing is if you ever exceed the number of characters below your player board, you can change them out. Alternatively, you can just not hire the one that you get the influence for. You can just take the immediate bonus or just take nothing at all. Finally, we've got Callisto. The ×1 area means you're going to get 1 victory point for whatever robot you have the most of. And remember that, like I said, there are 4 different types. ×2 victory points for each robot you have the most of. ×3 and ×4. If you have 2 robots that you have the same amount of, I think I can't remember.
You just score one.
I think you just score one of them. Whatever, like if you've got 4 of one type of robot and 4 of another, you don't get 8. I think you will just get 4.
4 times whatever.
Correct.
The little icon on the track means an upgrade for a robot or for a planet.
For this, yes. I'm going to get to this. That lets you do a robot modifier or a assignment modifier. Now, what those assignment modifiers are, as I mentioned before, are these cute little moons. You have 1 of each, so you can only place 1 of each of those. And what that lets you do is that lets you take a robot that is only good on Callisto. You can make it good on Callisto and a different moon. Alternatively, you could place a robot modifier, of which you have 4, 1 of each type. Let's say that I don't want that robot. I can trade it out with this robot, changing it out, and I will immediately do I get? I don't think I get.
You do not.
I do not get the benefit,
No.
but I will have the benefit
Next time.
the next time I place.
Right.
Remember, the benefit that I get for a robot is going to depend on how many I have of that robot. Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about the 4 different robot types. If I can pull it up here in the rules. The minor robot, which is what you see there, Those robots extract ore for your corporation. So the first one of these that I place in my 4 colonies is going to get me 1 mega credit. The second one that I place, it doesn't have to be on the same moon. If can have it on any of the 4 moons. The second one I place will give me 2 mega credits. The third one, 3 mega credits, and so on. This is a Star Z satellite. These form an advanced communication network, and they provide you energy as well as other robot bonuses. Up in the corner of the board, you'll notice the Star Z bonuses, and the first time you get the satellite bonus, you get the top option, which is 1 energy. The second one you place will let you choose one of the top 2, either 1 energy or 3 influence. The third one you place will let you take an energy, 3 influence, or
the first card in the
yes, you will get the first character card, only this one here. And you get to choose whether you take the red bonus or the blue bonus. Fourth one you place also adds on the ability to take 2 mega credits, and the last one lets you increase the level of a robot by 3. Now, if you would prefer, you could play with the backside of the Star Z bonuses.
Yeah, let's do that.
It changes things around a little bit. Well, just so we don't have any rules questions, I'm going to go ahead and start it off on the side that it recommends that we start on, and that's the A side. So that's 2 of the robots. How about the builder robot? Those will help you interact with the characters. The first one that you create will let you hire for free the first character that is in the lineup. Now, you do not, anytime you see this icon, you do not get the influence for this. Notice the tiny little X.
Very small.
In the middle of that card next to the question mark. That means you don't get the influence. However, you will get the red or blue bonus, your choice. The second robot you hire means that you create will let you get your choice of the first 2. The third robot that you create will give you the choice of the first 3, the first 4, the first 5. And I'm sure that the 6th one you build will also let you get any of the top 5.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. The last robot are the technician robots. Those will boost the level of your robots. The first one you build will increase any of your robots' levels by 1, including the one that you're just placing. You could increase that one by 1. The second one, increase any single robot by 2. The next one, increase any single robot by 3. There is a limit. The robot can never be below 1 or above 6, unless you get this special technology which lets you have a level 7. There are only going to be 2 or 3 of those in a game. Those are the 4 different types of robots that you can create. So if you ever have a robot out that you no longer have a need for, you can use a robotic assignment to change out the type of robot that you have. And again, you don't get the bonus immediately, but like the next time I build a builder robot, I'm going to get a builder robot bonus of level 2. All right, so the first little refresher, the first thing I do is switching influence if I want. The second thing I can do is to hire a character or acquire a robot or develop a technology. We've got 4 technologies here. Choose a technology, pay the cost in the corner, and resolve its immediate effect, if any. And you're also going to get VPs from these at the end of the game. For example, spend 2 energy and 3 mega credits. And let's see, which one is that one?
You get to drop 4 off the top of the robot deck,
Oh,
choose one, and put it to the bottom.
Yeah, choose one, put the rest to the bottom.
Yep.
Yep. Take one of these level 7s and immediately upgrade a robot of your choice. Gain 4 mega credits and 4 influence, and anytime you gain a mega credit, gain 1 additional. Now, there are B-sides to these as well that will change things out. So the first time you play, you should play with the A side. After that, you can put them all on the B side, or you can randomize these as you see fit.
Yay.
Yay.
We like that.
After you have done your one action, either character or robot or tech, you can claim 1 goal. As I mentioned before, if you meet the requirement, you can claim the first spot. So if I have 8 mega credits, I don't need to spend them. I just need to have them. Then I'm going to get 6 victory points at the end of the game. If Steph comes along and does it later, she's going to get 4 victory points at the end of the game. The ones that are up there now are control at least 7 robots of the same color of influence, have 4 robotic assignments, robot modifiers or assignment modifiers on robots that you have, and last but not least, have 5 robots that have 2 assignments, a double assignment.
Well, you also forgot $8.
I said that at the very first example that I mentioned.
I didn't hear it.
Yes, I said
$8.
Have it, not spend it.
Good.
So, anyway, the game end will be triggered when the last character card is placed in the character row, not acquired, or a player controls at least 10 robots, and those go quickly. In the current round, so everybody has the same number of turns, so Steph will go last, and at the end of the game, as I mentioned before, if I have hired all 5 of these characters, I need to be able to pay each of them a mega credit, otherwise I'm not going to get their end of game bonuses. I have to discard them from my tableau. You're going to score your VP from your development markers. You'll notice that the further you go, the more points you'll get. These are not additive. You just get the highest one that you have advanced to. You're also going to get victory points from whatever characters if you have paid them. You're going to get victory points from technologies. Notice 1 point or 3 points for each of these. And you're going to get victory points from goals. Most victory points will win. In the case of a tie, most remaining influence wins the game. And still a tie, you have to share the victory. Notice that there are multiple copies of several of these characters. Notice they are generally the same, but the colors might be different on each of them. So just know that there are multiple copies of each of these. You only have 4 of these, and 4 robot assignment changes, and 1 of each of the different moon assignments. The last thing that I did not cover is the initial setup. And that is where we've got what's called robotic projects. Because Steph is going last, she gets to choose one of these first. It's player count plus 1. And she's going to get whatever whatever is on the left side here. And this is going to be just a project that she is working on. Eventually, she's going to want to assign one of these to it. And she's going to want to assign at least one of these to it. As soon as she does this, boom, it's a robot, just like this. And it's going to be level 1. Notice this is level 5 and gets you an energy. This is only level 1, but it gets you 9 influence at the start of the game. You will get this immediately, and these you will get whenever you have the robot built. These are just 3 that are drawn randomly off the top of the deck. Every other one that you get afterwards is going to be a generic level 2 robot. Notice the backside of these are the ones you start out with at the end of the game, but you're never going to, as far as I know, there's no mechanism that lets you get another one of these on the flip side.
No.
There are mechanisms that will let you get another just normal generic level 2 robotic project. And that's what that is.
Prediction is open for who you think is going to win this game. Me or Michael. If you want to use channel points, now's the time to do that. But for now, I think we're going to just call this a rules teach video, and we will be right back on Twitch with the full playthrough.
Yep. And if you want to watch the playthrough, click the link down below.
Yes,
where hopefully you'll remember to put that.
I'll hopefully remember to put that. Yeah.
And if not, should be easy enough to find on her YouTube channel.
Yes.
So, for those of you on Twitch, we will be right back.
Yes.